Oh! So do you buy a broken down cubby box? Look at that. That's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit worse for wear in the back, but beautiful patinaed wood. Somebody hung it, has hangers on it. Oh, yeah. So first I'm going to take the hangers off before removing the back. Just unscrew. They're project pieces, and if you notice here and here, we have stapled to make this stay together. So I have a plan to cover that up, hopefully. But let's get this rotted wood back off. Rubber mallet. Oh! Must be glued. Maybe nailed. Stapled. I don't know. Okay, this is what it looks like now. I actually had Chris run it through his table saw to make sure that it was all even. So this is the next day. I was having a problem with some of the wood was rotted. Now, if you think that you have like little critters, you know, I get asked those questions when you see little holes and stuff. Now, there wasn't any fresh powder on here that would be your sign after it's sitting in your shop or wherever you're storing it. If you see fresh sawdust powder, then you know you have live, active critters. This is a small piece. You can do a heat treat in your oven, and then the heat treat is as low as your oven will go. Ours goes to 200. You put it in your oven for an hour and a half. It'll kill any critters. Keep it at that 200, 170, whatever your low temperature is. It'll kill the critters. And then you just let it cool off. So that is a way, even though this had no fresh powder, you could tell where there were critters at one time, but there isn't any active. So in case you all wanted to know how to do that, remember Chris works at a pallet company. So if you had it like a big piece of furniture, you could go hook up with a pallet company. Maybe they could help you out. Or someplace that heat treats large pieces like that. But chances are probably not. Small pieces are easy enough to do in your oven. So there's that. So now we need to put it back on here. I have an idea for some front pieces to cover up these little staples. I love cubbies. But I'm going to, before putting it back on, wipe down the shelves. You can see that it's kind of wonky, so we're not going to be able to just leave it without some type of back structurally to hold it. So you can get these small usable boards that are easy to work with at Home Depot. There's a bead board and MDF board and stuff like that. I like to have some on hand because that's what I can work with. So I'm going to cut a new back for this. I have these leftover trim pieces. That I did on a project and I ended up not putting them back on. I didn't need them. So I thought they would be great to add onto here. I just need to figure out how I want to complete the back. Like, do I do the same paint? Do I do something that makes items pop? I'm kind of thinking, now that I have it up, there's a little red on these. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, remind me of like nesting boxes in a small version. What about white chippy? I think white chippy would be good. We need to do that before attaching because it would be much easier to paint while it's not attached. I have extra bond. I'm just going to put extra. This is very dry board, so I'm just going to put a generous amount of extra bond on here, which is probably going to soak in the raw wood. I always get what can I use instead of if I can't find shellac? You can get shellac on Amazon, and you can get shellac at Home Depot, Menards. But if you want to order it, if you're like me and you probably order way too much off the internet, this is an option. You can use heat to help dry Extra Bond, so that's kind of nice. But I think because this has an underline of red, I might do some splotches of red to make it look like it's salvaged, like what this looks like. Not green though. I don't think I'm going to do green. I think I'm just going to do the red underneath. DIY's Carnival red. I don't have a lot of reds on hand, so like I said, we're just going to do splotches. Go ahead and get that dry. Gotta love products you can help along with the dryer. Well, heat gun, blow dryer, fan. If you're gonna blow on it, it's gonna take a while. Or since I already have Extra Bond in a cup, I did this on a shelf that I did, but I did it with shellac to make it really crackling over the color. So I'm going to attempt to do that again over the red. So I have sweet pickings, flour sack, and I'm going to mix up a thick mixture. That way I only have to do one coat. Luckily the board is laid flat. So I'm going to go ahead and put one scoop in. Oh, that might be way too much for this little board. Let's go with that. And then I'm just going to kind of add water until it's just kind of a paste. Like as long as I can stir it. As you can see, I can't really stir that. The directions say 1-to-1 ratio, but just use it how you want to use it. That's the fun of all these products. First time you're the good pupil and you do exactly what the directions say, and then as you use it over time, then you kind of like change it. Tweak it to your own style, your own vibe. Or you saw somebody else do something. So I would like it to chip off a little bit so you see some of the red. So I'm going to use a little, this is Sweet Pickins beeswax. It's so hard because you're like, I don't know, because I can't see where it's been. So you just have to trust the process. And like I said, I mixed this up kind of thick. I am not painting the outside, the body of that little cubby. I love the patina of the wood. Well, you can see the red. I'm going to do a little bit of sanding, see what comes off. I'm going to do some Fusion's aging wax. I think that's what's on the green. I do want to darken it up a little bit. I didn't spray this with anything. Don't be scared. Making it look more like a salvage, like the other pieces. It's like your eraser, see? Okay, so this is kind of the hard part. I'll start off with the corners with some little brads and hope that I stay straight with my brad nail. It's just easier to brad nail it on at such a little space. So I'm going to do some sanding to make sure it's nice and flush. Of course, we can't leave this new looking. No. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some aging wax on it. Okay. Some of the edges are not as good. So I just wanted to be able to cut it down. Make a little mark where I need to cut it. There's not a lot of, like, not a lot. Oh, look at this. Can you see it? It doesn't even fit in the frame. It's all big. I don't even know what it came from, but that shape is amazing. The patina is amazing. Other than I am going to put some flour sack over it, make it chippy, make it into a sign. Like I said, I don't even know what it came off from, but I'm gonna leave this side the back, and then we'll go ahead and paint this side. Oh, it's just awesome. And I'm not going to try to clean it because I don't want to chip anything off. It's as good as it's going to get, other than I think I'll keep using Extra Bond for y'all so you can see it on the projects. Extra Bond. It was attached to something. All I can say, kind of like shellac, use a generous amount. It's wood, it's going to soak in. If you're looking for chippy and crackling and crazing, yes. And if you're impatient like me, you can take a heat gun to it, which you can't with shellac. Shellac will bubble. I'm gonna use, but I need a lot of it. I don't know. Is there enough to mix? It's like when you put the powdered sugar in your KitchenAid mixer to make punk and roll innards. Oh, I may have poured too much in there. I'll make it work. Okay. My it dried crusty. My brush. Put a nice thick coat on. Oh, I always get going. I always get going and then I forget what I'm doing. Well, that one won't be chippy, but the rest of it, even when I have it sitting right next to me, right? It'd be okay. Okay, try again. Got lots going on there. Lots of crap. Look at that texture that we're looking for. So now I'm going to take some sandpaper and take it down a notch. Before stenciling this, I'm going to seal it in with some weather defense. I don't want the stencil to, take off all the paint. So because this is such a big to do, it printed out all my letters and my words separately. I was able to group certain things together. We'll figure it out. We always do. I just have to lay it out. Kind of hard for you all to see in one shot. Oh, it's so scary working with big pieces. Oh. It needs to be conditioned a little bit, or it'll be too sticky. Looking like a dirty workspace to get dusted forward. And I'm just going to lay it on there, and then I cut out 2 pieces. And now we're just going to pray for the best when I flip it. Because oh, this is the fun part, y'all. So instead of watching me struggle, I'll get back with you. So are you really cricketing, crafting, stenciling, making a sign if it doesn't take you about as long to cut out the lettering, weed the lettering, and then attach the lettering? Lettering. That's too close. Do the lettering, I'm going to use Stays On black ink, jet black, and then a makeup sponge to apply it. Usually go over it twice. Make sure it's dry before adding the second coat. Don't hold it too long on vinyl, because that'll pull it right up. I like the way the ink lays flat. You don't have that raised bump. And usually not too much bleed under. Going to take some steel wool, just age it a little bit. It'll just fade it. If you use sandpaper, you might get like scrape marks from the sandpaper. So we just want to make it look like this is wore off. Like, you need it to be dark enough, but you also need it to be aged. The milk paint's already sealed in, but I have the hemp oil right here. So just to bring everything back to life, we'll just put a little bit of that on. And we'll of course, need something to hang it with. So 6.5. It's not heavy. Wait, what? Yes, I was able to score some of these. What are they called? You all tell me. I don't know. I look for these shapes in hardware, the home improvement stores to be able to recreate these and then to be able to find some. Though they're a little rough. I mean, they are, but they're definitely we can do something with it. So we got some. Not even sure why there's metal on there. Maybe gutters were attached to the pole is what I'm thinking. We got some nails on the bottom we need to get rid of. And then I may put a round on one and I may just leave the other one as is. But yes, we need to do something with the nails because everybody wants pretty decor, but nobody would like to get those nails in their way. Virtually, you don't get to have any fun until you do stuff like this. So these would have been attached to the bottom, like to the decking, so we don't actually need them. Nice if they were rusted that they would break. They may not, though. There's a will, there's a way. Keep hammering it until it breaks off. Sooner or later, it will. It will. I think I got just enough of a little boo-boo piece and I'm able to do that. Well, I got most of them out, but this one I'm just playing teeter-totter back and forth. I'm not strong enough to pull those nails out, so I'll come up with something to put on the bottom, like to raise it up a little bit, because I can't. I tried to nail. Oh, it's all good. Yes, could I wait till my husband got home? Probably, but then I can't paint it. So, no. Oh, so 80 grit. We're gonna sand it a little bit. I hammered out some of the really, it's been painted gray, white, and then this taupey tan color. Try to get all the loose off that I could. This one's not. I couldn't get these nails out. Character. It's a salvage piece, so I'm going to, since I still have extra bond out, I might as well use what I have laying around. So we're going to slather this all over. Paint right over the nails, give it a new, because of course this would have been the wood that was cut in. They cut it off the big old post. The nail post, I don't know the technical terms. I am not a porch builder. I just know I love salvage. And I know if I put this to sell like this, it would sit. If it would just sit. I've done that many a times thinking, oh, people will like salvage and will like to make it over like me. Nah, no. They want it to be finished. So, and if you ever have been on my eBay, I have one of these that I use to stage my eBay items. And I get asked a ton of times about selling them. Even though you have not seen this in a haul video yet, I'm making it over, and yes, I will put these. I think they'll be shippable, so hopefully they turn out good. So this one kind of has some nails still sticking out. It's like, so when I hammer them up, they go up. When I hammer them down, they go down. So I'll probably have to stick some little points on here so it doesn't scratch up somebody's surface. I'm not comfortable with the router. I looked at this, but then it was so big. I don't have a fancy one, so they're just going to stay as is. I checked out what my stash is. I just want to get them done. You know how you get excited about something and you're like, I just have to do it. So extra bonds, because I already had it poured out in a cup from the earlier projects. There's just something about white salvage, so that's what these are going to be, classic. And then somebody could add a cloche. You could add yummies on top of it. Leave it as is. There's a lady in Whatnot, and she shows all her auction items on top of hers. Homespun, I believe, if you follow her on Whatnot. I bought many of Butter Pat displays from her. We'll run a little beeswax on it. A little. So you can do thick paint, or you can do thin paint and do multiple coats, or you can do thick like me and then do one coat and just wait a while for it to dry. I really thought it was going to take a lot more paint. I actually added what I had from the previous project in there. There we are. Do a little sanding. I feel like it needs to be on the Lazy Susan. There we go. I think I'm going to use hemp oil to seal this in. I just think it's going to give it that authentic look. No, it's just the regular hemp oil. It's not. It won't be green. I don't know. Maybe my bottle's old, but I just thought that would get into the cracks. If I rub on it, it'll go all the way through. Bring out some richness in the white. One of those, whatever chips off, chips off. We wanted to look old and salvage. Careful, there's still those nails on there. Well, it's a good way to dust it. This one doesn't have any nails sticking out of the bottom. The other one, on the other hand, like, do you want the nails sticking out of the top, or do you want the nails sticking out of the bottom, right? So I'm trying to decide. I have some little hammer in, I have some little hammer in, and I think ones I use on bread box are taller. So I think maybe just the hammer in, this little 4-pack. I want it to, just something, I know they're new, but we need to keep these little nails off the area there.